Right.
We had a good run.
Right.
Like our whole era, like it was just like being able to travel with your friends. Like
Right.
you know, whether it's going on tour, like Make Sure Power Summit, or you know all these core DJs, all these different conventions. Like that was when it was fun to me.
Was it as many drugs as it is now?
Well, you know they say that our era was the drug sellers, and so now a lot of
the drug
people have
users.
drug users, which kind of makes sense. You know, I mean, I've never been. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do anything. So I think I don't really tend to see that. Like
Right.
people aren't gonna just be snorting cocaine or something in front of me because I don't even drink alcohol.
Right.
So I don't know about that. But I mean, if there is more drugs, it's probably our fault. You know, our generation
That's what
definitely
they
probably
say.
didn't help.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
It is the generation that let them do that.
Yeah.
I think that might be us. So we, I want to get into the Pimp C thing because he was a major player in hip hop, and I think his death was like so abrupt, like nobody saw it coming. And you wrote about him.
Yeah, that was I remember just feeling like kind of like deflated, like just the air kind of went out of the movement, like when he passed, because it was just such a good, like he had so much momentum going, and of course he was like this OG spokesman for the South, and
Yeah, just got out of jail.
yeah, exactly. He seemed like he had really like come to a positive place, and so yeah, it was definitely like very disappointing to the movement. Aside from just, of course, his family and everything was devastated, but yeah. So I ended up I had the idea, and there was a lot of internal, like the family, the wife, mother, just a lot of drama, and so I at first I was like maybe I shouldn't even bring it up, but I ended up pitching the idea basically to his mom, and I went out to Port Arthur and I had this whole like presentation I was gonna give, like why we should do this book, and she was just like she didn't even want to hear it. She was just like, no, he always spoke highly of you, like I'm with it, like let's do it right away. So and she was great to work with. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better, like as a journalist, you want somebody who's has a great memory, is very detailed, and can give you everything you need. Like she had saved everything. She had all kinds of material from even when he was in prison, like stuff he wrote when he was in prison. She was their manager, actually, UGK's manager, like, since the very beginning. So, and then she passed away as we were finishing the book. So she was like literally, and that was very abrupt too. So
now, since you wrote the book on Pimp C, did you get to spend time with him?
Yeah.
How was he as a person? Like I've never met him, so.
Pimp was fun. I mean, he was like somebody that, like, anytime you went somewhere with him, it was like I would just tag along just to see what would happen.
Right.
Because he was definitely very moody.
Okay.
So it was hard to predict like what type of scenario you might end up in. But he's definitely somebody who would just, you're not gonna not know that he's there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he's gonna be the focus of attention. Right.
So what did you learn about him that you didn't know beforehand writing the book?
I learned a lot. I mean, some of the most interesting parts of the book I felt like was when his mom was very open about like things he struggled with as far as his mental health. Like he was bipolar, possibly schizophrenic as well. And so she talked a lot about how you can't really separate the two. Like that was part of what made him a great artist. And I don't know off the top of my head, I don't know who else to name, but I know a lot of great, not only musicians, but, painters and, other types of artists that have been like bipolar or, had other mental issues. So she said that it was his greatest enemy and his greatest friend was that he was, he did have also severe depression, she said. And so I think talking about kind of some of the personal things outside of just the music was real interesting to me. And it made him make like a little more sense. Yeah.
Do you think hip hop does a good job of talking about that? Because I know you have like a Cudi, a Kanye, who else? Who that deal with mental issues, but I don't think it's necessarily like
I would say that it's getting better. Like there's more conversation.
I feel like now that Kanye came out with his mental health, I think everybody's starting to like view that as a serious thing now, because before I don't remember people actually.
I mean, there's been like Shakira Stewart, R.I.P. Chris Lighty. Like there's been people who have passed. Who have obviously had I guess issues that they weren't able to deal with. There's I forget the name of the company, but I think it's Silence the Shame. There's a nonprofit that's, aiming to draw attention to that type of thing in the music business. So I think there's more conversation happening probably than it happened in the past. But yeah, in the Pimp C era, I don't know that was something that he could have really openly talked about.
Right. And people could have helped him out with that.
Yeah.
Could have still been with us.
All right, so we're gonna take a quick break. I know you've been talking a little bit. I know you know, but we're gonna get into this song, which is one of my favorite Pimp C verses. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna come right back and talk about the J Prince. Yes.
What's your favorite Pimp C verse? I'm about to hear it.
About to hear it.
Okay.
And I want to talk about your photography skills because they are bomb.
So, back to the show. What up, Julia? Julia Beverly's still in the house. I want to talk about this J Prince book. It's called The Art of Secrets and Respect, correct?
Close.
Science and Respect, sorry. I wrote it.
The Art and Science of Respect.
The Art and Science.
Yes.
I wrote up.
J Prince's autobiography.
Yes.
Yes.
He came to you or we went to him?
I mean, we've known each other for a long time from the Ozone days.
Okay.
So I think I had mentioned it. I heard that he was working on something, and I just mentioned it to him. I did the Pimp C book, and he had done a draft with a writer, Jazz Waters, and that was, I guess, a few years back. So we kind of updated and developed it and edited it, and we decided to do the independent thing.
Yeah.
In keeping with the whole Rap a Lot, Rap a Lot has always been about independent and staying independent and owning your own content, and there's so many avenues now to put a book out yourself. It's not as retail dependent as it used to be. So
I'm sure you don't know, Mike, but Rap a Lot was like they had Ghetto Boys. I'm sure you know. Like they had.
How old are you? I'm curious.
I'm 28.
He's not that young.
He's young. He's more about
you don't
the
know,
South.
You're 28. You don't know about Rap a Lot?
He's more about salsa. He's a Colombian kid,
Okay.
salsa. Now
I know hip hop, but I know about the Ghetto Boys. I've never heard of rap.
But that's Rap a Lot. J Prince was big in Houston and in the South period.
Okay.
So to know that he was making this book, I was like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah, some of the. I mean, there's a lot of I guess you'd say mythology around J Prince. I mean, some of that is because he's never really spoken out publicly. He doesn't do interviews or anything like that, and he's had some interesting run-ins with a lot of people. And he kind of discovered Floyd Mayweather, managed him, built him up into Money Mayweather. His son discovered Drake, brought him to Wayne. Yeah. So he's had a hand in a lot of people's careers. Drake actually did the foreword to the book, which is also an audiobook.
Really?
And actually, we just posted the Drake's forward snippet of it, so maybe you can play that on your.
Of course.
Maybe you can play that on your show. So yeah, it'll be an audiobook on iTunes, hardback. I should have had him here to tell you about the book, but yeah, it's
next time.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think I forgot where I was going with that whole sentence in the beginning, but what I was going to say is that some of the mythology and like the kind of rumors or whatever come from the DEA situation he had, which the DEA agents, he said there were two DEA agents that basically were trying to kill him. And actually one of them is actually under a federal indictment now.
Wow.
So that's an interesting story which may develop a little more. He has an upcoming trial. So one of those agents is now accused of basically setting up drug dealers, taking their money. Like, I don't know, I haven't read all the specifics, but Chad Scott, the DEA agent, was according to Jay, he had seen him. They tried to set him up in a similar situation where he believes that he was the target of a kind of an assassination attempt, because at that time he was you have a young black entrepreneur who's making a lot of money, very high profile, and they kind of just assumed that it was that he was into something illegal. And at the same time, this is when they were going after Death Row and Murder Inc. So he felt like it was kind of a coordinated effort by the government, and it wouldn't be unprecedented. They were doing the same thing back in the.
Does he feel that was more
Black Panthers and MLK?
Does he feel that it was more because of the heat that Suge Knight put on the music industry and created that whole like cloud over people that are
he actually
entrepreneurs.
talks about that.
Right.
He talks about Suge, the Suge situation in the book. But his particular situation, and it's pretty well documented. There was somebody who was a like a friend affiliate who was actually captured with a large amount of cocaine.
Right.
And so they were trying to prove that this was, related to him somehow. But this went on for like, I think 10 or 12 years that they kept. There was actually very aggressive attempts, and I wrote about this in the Pimp C book too. But they would have, for example, like they would have somebody who was under federal indictment in, Baton Rouge or somewhere that had gotten caught with drugs, and they had her call somebody who was like a promotions guy or whatever for Rap Lot and said, hey, I know opportunity for you to make some money. These guys have like 30 grand in their hotel room, I can get them out of the room and I'll leave the key for you.
And they associated him with that.
And it was all completely a setup. And then they put cocaine in the cooler which contained money and they would put in just enough to make it a federal
case.
Yeah, so there was a lot of so it's like, where's the line between is this a crime that would have happened if you hadn't set up the whole scenario?
So it's sort of like entrapment.
Definitely entrapment. Yeah. So
I can hear that.
and they tried to tie Scarface into it. There was a lot that happened like in the late 90s, and for me, because I didn't get into the music business until 2002, 2003. So when I started reading about all this stuff in the Pimp C book, I was kind of like, wow, like this is wild. Like nobody's ever really told this story, because he actually he really came up with a brilliant way. When he felt like the DEA was literally trying to kill him, he found a way to kind of he basically got the government to investigate themselves and leave him alone.
Nice.
So he kind of outmaneuvered.
That was the UGK under Rap-A-Lot?
UGK was actually signed to Jive,
right?
But Pimp C and Bun B both had solo deals with Rap-A-Lot eventually, and they had a long-standing relationship. But they had been signed by Big Time, which was a local
Big Time
guy in Houston. Very early in their career. So.
Whatever happened to Big Mike?
He's still out there.
Is he really? Big Mike was nice.
I know. I'm right here.
Not you.
I think I interviewed him for the Pimp C book. I think that he had a I don't want to say a religious conversion, because I don't really remember all the specifics. But he's in a different space in life.
What is it?
He talked about.
What is it with hip hop?
Well, he talked about how he's very anti-drug now, and so when he goes back to his early music and he's promoting all this drug use and stuff in his music, he kind of felt like he was leading people in the wrong direction. So he's taking a more positive turn in life.
In the 90s, Big Mike was nice. Like he became part of the Ghetto Boys at one point, and then he had his own solo album, which is fire.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
gotta look him up.
Yeah. It's always a one album.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's up to right now, but that's what I recall from our last
you were also involved in the Beef like the Beef series.
Yeah, I was a producer on that on those documentaries, which really it was more footage and photos and stuff. So like we talked about earlier, me being one of the few photographers at a lot of these shows. So when you see a lot of the like behind the music, unsung, all those documentaries, like a lot of them have footage or photos from me. So yeah, the Beef, that was a while back, but that was a series that Ep.3 had put together. And,
I remember
Josh Krause is one of the editors or producers on there, so he brought me on board. He's actually a great, I don't know if he's called a director or editor, but he did the Goody Mob, or not Goody Mob, the Dungeon Family documentary.
On Netflix. That shit is fire. That shit's hot. I love that.
Josh.
Yeah.
But the Beef series, I think we talked about, that was way back. That was when Jeezy and Gucci were going at it.
Yikes. And, there's a rap beat that can end in bloodshed.
Yeah, that was.
It would have been between those two crazy dudes right there.
It did end in bloodshed.
Yeah.
Oh, it did?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Gucci killed somebody. In self-defense.
Now,
or allegedly killed somebody.
So I don't know if that relationship would ever be mended.
Yeah.
But, hey.
Yeah, I don't know about those.
So
go ahead, you got a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on your photography skills real quick, because they're like
skills.
I mean, I saw your Instagram. They're definitely. What made you get into photography, like in the first place?
I've always been like, I mean, back when I was like, 10 years old, I was clearing out some storage stuff, and I was like, wow, I still have like labeled, like detailed,
photo
labeled
albums?
negatives from when I was like 11 years old. Like I've always been like real, into documenting.
People still use negatives?
Stuff, so. Back in the day.
Back in the days,
yeah.
No.
Not now, no. It's all, everything's all digital.
So, what would you give somebody who would want to pick up photography? What would you give them as advice? Like this is what you should do to.
I mean, it's really just, you gotta have an eye for it.
Right.
First of all, but you can develop it for sure. And there's so many, you got a lot of tools out now, different cameras and software, and you can do so much to a photo, even just like to retouch it. But,
quick question: Drake or Pusha?
I have to pick one. I mean, I'd probably say Drake.
See, now you became a friend to the show because I love Drake. This guy no. Drake's nuts.
No, yeah, I definitely.
Even though that
I don't know, I'm not like that. I'm not like that.
Even though that album shit is.
We were just talking about this. I don't. Okay, I'm kind of curious if the child exists. If that's real.
He exists. Yeah, it's real.
That was real a year ago.
It was real.
I mean, I've heard that.
Yeah,
it's real. It's real.
Yes, I didn't
because to me, a good diss record has to be true. So there's been in the past there's been like rap beefs where people threw out stuff and song, and I'm like, okay, but if it's not true, like what I'm trying to remember, what was it? Was it Remy when Remy and Nicki were going at it? Like the song.
Oh, that was real. When she said something about her brother.
Like if you start saying that you slept with this rapper, and you slept like, are you just throwing out? Because that's the easiest thing.
Because of the name, and she's the one that was been when she said that Meek told her, and Meek was like, I didn't.
Yeah, like for a diss record to be effective, it has to. The stuff you're saying has to
be honest. It has to be real.
So I don't know 100% if everything that was said is true.
What he said about him having the kid, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
You know that for a fact. Like you've seen the DNA test.
No, see that's the thing. He's also going. I'm just
saying, like we're theorizing. We really don't know.
No, but we know that he had a kid. But he's also going for a DNA test too. He does take care of him allegedly. That's what I've heard.
Financially,
but TMZ said that.
TMZ
spoke. Now TMZ is a little more reliable than most, but
I got this.
But they're not 100%.
They're not 100%.
So TMZ likes to make money like everybody else.
Yes, I agree.
But they're usually pretty on point.
But the problem is people believe the lies and they think the lies is cool. Plus it's a rap.
When it comes to like relationship stuff, though, I'm like, if you're not one of the people in the relationship, you don't really know. To me, I thought that was below the belt. I thought that was me. What was below the belt?
The one with the DJ with the producer.
Yeah, his friend.
40, him being sick.
Yeah.
That was below the belt. You know what I'm saying? But hey, Jay-Z went after the dude's baby moms, but we ain't gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna get into that.
I mean, if you bring the fiance into it,
yeah,
Drake
did come. He did come with the fiance.
I mean, clowning somebody for being
say the Beyonce.
Disease is like,
fiance.
He didn't say that. He always said, "I'm gonna ring you up like whatever Williams."
Although Tupac did throw out the sickle cell.
He did.
Thing so
all this fair rap beef.
Tupac hit him up is still the best.
Tupac hit him up is serious. He said, "I fucked your wife," which is so foul.
Did he?
Yeah.
But did he?
We don't know. They were pretty chummy. You would know.
We don't know for a fact.
You would know more than I would.
Allegedly, that happened. Yeah.
You would know more than I would.
I mean, honestly, if you had to choose between Biggie and Pac to sleep with, like, are you serious? I mean,
actually, Julia said Big Boy don't get no love.
To him.
Yeah, but look at Tupac. Like, come on, that's Tupac.
Julia saying Big Boy don't get no love.
I know, right? So what you saying, you would say with Tupac.
For sure, yes.
Julia like thug life. Julia like thug life.
Especially your man is not treating you right, and another rapper who looks better than you
and
is trying to
his eyes
come
fucked
on.
up.
Yeah, you gotta,
Biggie, I'm sorry, bro.
You're fat, you got a lazy eye, you treating me bad.
Biggie's checking you out right now.
He's trying to fuck, and he's fine. Come on.
Biggie looking at you, man. We gotta post a Biggie. Biggie's like staring at like, word.
He is staring at you like, what?
I forgot that poster was there.
This is totally off topic, but this is funny because my nephew came over to my house. He's like 5 years old, And I went in the kitchen. I was like doing something there in the him and his brother in the room, and he says, "Why does that man keep staring at me?" I ran back in there thinking there was like somebody looking in the window or something. I had a Tupac like coffee table book, the poetry book.
Yeah,
and he was like, everywhere I go, he keeps looking at me. It's like that's how I feel with Biggie right now.
Question for you: who's your top 5
MCs?
Personal favorites?
Yes.
Of all time, yeah.
In no particular order. Tupac,
Okay.
Lauryn Hill, Andre 3000, Pimp C, and what'd you say?
I said I was trying to whisper Jay-Z. No.
And I'd probably say old Kanye,
Old Kanye was nice.
or maybe old Jeezy.
Wow, you like New Jeezy?
Well, not that new Jeezy is bad, but
Old Jeezy was
but
more.
old Jeezy was a little more raw.
That first album was fire.
Yeah.
Jeez, that first album was
Yeah.
fire. But damn, you didn't say Jay?
I know I'm in New York, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a Jay-Z hater.
Word? Whoa, why you a Jay-Z hater?
It's just like when everybody likes something, it's just like too much.
So you're not a hater personally?
You just don't want to go with the flow.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
all right, okay.
That
Okay,
nigga-
not a hater, but like.
That nigga didn't take a picture for Ozone, B. She said, fuck him.
I mean, he never was like super friendly when I met him, but
Really?
you know,
Is he one of those?
not like if we've ever had like a deep conversation or anything. But you know, I've been introduced before, and it's kind of like. You know.
Alright, so I got all my questions out, right? So we're gonna get into the part of the Love Guru. Just be
Okay.
quick, and I know you gotta go, but I wanted to kind of do this with you. So the Love Guru is, you have the questions there, right?
Yes, I do.
These are questions that people have sent in to us because, you know, we know, at least I know about relationships. So I'm gonna put you in the hot seat. I will tag team with you.
Okay,
You
so
know,
we're
here and
answering
there.
the questions
Yes.
together. All right, what we got?
So Mike, hit us with the first question.
All right, Julia, Fredo. At what age should I give up on having a successful relationship? Can a person get too old to fall in love?
I mean, you're not supposed to ever give up.
I don't feel like you should never give up on love.
I'm saying, at what point is it that you're like, you know what, ain't nobody gonna marry me or be with me?
Yeah, but you never know that same day or the next day you might find somebody. You never know.
But okay, but what?
Well, they say it's supposed to pop up when you're not looking anyway. So
Right.
You know, you don't want to give up on it, but maybe you just redirect your energy.
I feel like if you
focus
don't
your
look for
energy
it, it'll
on
come to
other-
you.
Yeah, if you focus your energy on, you know,
Something else, and it'll come.
making money, hobbies, like.
What if at
you know,
50 it doesn't happen? I think 50 it is. Like
I mean-
if 50 doesn't happen, I mean, you just chill, B. You'll be good.
Nah, but nobody want to be miserable by themselves.
How are you miserable by yourself?
Not everybody wants to be like
That is true.
You could say like people might look at somebody single and say, oh, they must be lonely or whatever,
Mhm.
but just because you're in a relationship doesn't automatically mean that you're not
People in
lonely. It might be
people in
worse. Like,
relationship are hard.
if you're in a relationship with somebody that is not quite right for you,
Yes.
like you might be even more lonely than somebody who's.
Trust me, I've been
single.
married twice. The first marriage I was miserable.
I'm really cool being like
I
I like
feel that.
kicking it by myself.
Sometimes,
Yeah,
yeah.
You don't have to
sometimes.
deal with anybody else's bullshit.
Mike likes being by himself. Mike.
Don't mind me.
That's all I really want is somebody who would leave me alone
There you go.
when I need to be left alone.
Right.
Which is pretty often.
There you go. Mike, next question.
Second question. I'm thinking about asking my ex to be my +1 at a wedding. I'm done with the relationship, but I'm single and he will know some of the other guests. What are your thoughts?
I mean, it depends on what your relationship is like with that person. Like
I can't do that.
So this is a female saying she wants to bring her ex.
I'm guessing. I'm not sure.
It said he, right?
There's a he, right?
I'm done with the relationship, but I'm single and he will know some of the other guests. So
Yeah,
it's a
see,
woman.
if he is still in love with you, you probably don't want to give him that impression that
Right.
y'all still together. But if it's like if y'all have a cool relationship where you, like you said, you have mutual friends,
Right.
like, so it really just depends on what the relationship is between the two of you.
But at a wedding, aren't people like assuming they're gonna get some? Like, as they go to a wedding with somebody, I'm just saying, like.
I mean, but if you make it clear,
I mean-
like if it's an ex that's not still in love with you, and like you make it like, hey, do you want to be my date, and just
Like
I'm not in love
there's
with
different
you.
type of layers
Time,
to that.
like,
There's
yeah.
different type of layers. Because then once the liquor's in the system, you never know what's gonna
If
happen.
I'm not in love with you, I ain't going nowhere. Like, I'm good.
Right.
If I'm your ex,
I mean, going to weddings for a guy is not like fun, is it?
I mean, it's pretty cool. If a guy goes to a wedding, like,
Yeah.
No, weddings are not fun.
No, yes it is.
No,
Some weddings are fun.
Yes it is.
He just wants to drink all the liquor. That's his problem.
That and
That's
the
the
party,
other thing
the
is
party
like, what
afterwards.
type of is it gonna be like a crazy party
Oh,
afterwards?
if it's a Spanish wedding, it's a crazy
That's
party.
different. But if there's a band,
Okay, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
If it's a white people wedding,
No, because
it's
you know
not
for a
gonna be
fact it's
fun.
gonna be a band.
If it's like a Caribbean
Listen,
wedding, yes,
I saw the
have
wedding
fun.
crashers. I saw wedding crashers. I saw those white.
so white people
weddings.
wedding not fun.
Look, I understand why black people think white people are weird, and I understand why white people think black people are loud or whatever. Like I've seen it from both
Do you
sides.
make good potato salad?
I don't make potato salad. I know my limits. No raisins.
No reason.
Oh man.
What's up? Next question.
Next question. How many bank accounts should a couple share?
I would say none.
Julia's harsh.
No, you probably need. Yeah, I mean, it'd be good to have one joint, you
Yeah,
know,
one
but
joint
have
account.
your own too. You
Yeah,
know,
on the
you know.
side.
Yeah.
Because you
For
never
hotel
know.
nights.
Yeah, well
Look
that's
at
true.
you. You're a nasty dude. Damn. I
You
would
never
say I
know.
set you up.
You never know, because your wife might set you up.
No,
one
I
day.
have a friend who just had a situation. I don't want to be putting people's business out
Well,
there.
we know his
but
name.
Her and
name.
her. Something happened with her husband's son did something crazy. He's like a teenager or whatever, but he was trying to get some type of scam or something going. But anyway, got their whole
One of those
accounts
flip things.
froze. And,
Damn.
you know,
He
she
did one
was
of
all
those
messed
flip
up
things.
because she didn't have. Yeah, well, it wasn't really him. It was like his homeboy. Like,
Yeah.
oh, all you gotta do is go
Put
here
this
and cash
money
this
in,
check. Yeah. So you know, if you're all your money is in one account. I mean, but that's good. That's good advice for anybody to have
Yeah.
multiple accounts.
Just
because-
one account and then put a secret account somewhere.
Yeah, stash some money somewhere else. Because you don't know about these banks either. These banks.
You know about these relationships. Relationships probably suck sometimes.
That's true.
Should
Next
clean you
question.
out.
Next question, Julia. Fredo. My husband and I can't seem to find the time to have spontaneous sex because our kids, 3 years, 4 years, and 6 years old, are always around. Can you make suggestions on what to do? We schedule sex now, and it really isn't working for me.
Don't have any more kids.
Yeah. Don't have kids.
Or get a babysitter.
I don't have kids, so I can't. I
Don't have
I don't know
kids.
that I have any advice on that. But yeah.
I don't have kids neither. Yeah.
Yeah, have a sitter.
I guess so.
Lock
That's,
them in the attic or something.
Just have sex when they go to sleep. I don't get it. What's so hard about that?
I mean, they want to have spontaneous sex, so it depends.
Have it when they go to sleep.
Right.
Like,
They made it difficult for
do
themselves.
it in the
like,
kitchen. Who cares?
Shouldn't have 3 kids.
Exactly.
Is it wrong to go through my man's phone?
Yes.
Think so?
See, Julia, you smart.
Julia?
It is.
If every woman thought like you, there would be less fights.
That's a deal breaker, man.
Yeah, like why? And then when you say that, like, oh, because listen, it's my phone. Don't go through my phone.
Cause I've had like this is one situation. I had an ex who, you know, he like gave me his phone, like put it on the charger and rolled over and went to sleep, and I went over and looked at the charger and I'm like,
Should I?
no, you could, but
Should
like,
I?
yeah, do you really want
Did
to?
you?
And no, I didn't.
Not for a second.
You just put it down right
I
there,
put
like.
it on the charger, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, once you cross that
sure?
line, like
You're
Yeah.
invading
the trust
privacy,
is
yeah.
not there, you
Yeah.
know. So
Right.
If the trust is gone, it's a wrap.
yeah.
Fredo, this is for you.
What?
This is for you. You can.
I'll do some detective work now. I don't have to go through your phone to find
Oh,
out.
shit.
If I'm talking to somebody, I'll find out.
Have you?
Especially with social media. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, social-
It lets you know
social
who
media
you-
gets dudes in trouble real
I've
quick.
had experiences
so
with
easy,
that.
yeah.
I've had experiences
Like,
with
don't
that.
use social media to find chicks. Like, you're just gonna get yourself in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, don't do it if you're in a relationship.
If you're single, whatever.
Just don't do social media.
I'm thinking about buying an engagement ring from a mall store like Zales or Jared. Now that I know that my girl would love it, but her sister's always shitting on guys who do that. I'm trying to figure out what to do. Zales really works best with my fiancés. Should I listen to her? Should I listen to her sister or my heart?
I think diamonds are a scam, so you don't want my opinion on that.
Really?
They are.
How so?
Why do you think that was a
They're
scam?
not worth anything. They're artificially, the value is artificial. Try to sell a diamond for more than what you bought it for.
Oh no, definitely you're not gonna do
Or
it.
return it for what you paid.
It's not gonna happen. Especially those dudes that make those
have some kind
medallions
of,
that are weird.
I read an
nobody-
article about it. I don't
Nobody's
remember.
rebuying that. Nobody's rebuying that.
That was all a marketing campaign, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's how they sold diamonds. It was like, oh, you have to get one to get married.
Although,
I don't want a diamond ring. I just want a little. Give me something a little cheap. Give me a cheap ring. And
That's true because a lot of women. Like,
take me on vacation somewhere.
There's some women that like
you know how
they
far,
want
like
specific.
what does a wedding ring cost? Like a big diamond wedding.
$3,500 now.
Damn, you said that quick.
You know what?
I thought they were more than that,
I
but
forgot
okay.
my wedding ring at home, which I'm gonna hear about it later. But
I mean, you could take a dope trip for $3,500.
Oh, a great trip.
Go on vacation.
But I wanted
I'll lose it
I
anyway,
wanted
so.
my. If you see my wedding ring, it's pretty serious. Like But
That must not be that serious if you don't have it on.
Shut up! Don't start. You see, you go.
The $3,500 was a man's wedding ring or a woman's?
It was mine.
So how much was the woman's?
Her wedding ring was $3,500. Her engagement ring was
Okay.
45, maybe.
Wait, you have to buy both? Yeah, I don't even know about that.
You gotta buy both. I mean, you don't have. Here's the thing. I agree with you. I told my wife, I'm like, why am I buying you a ring? We're together. Like, a ring is just a waste of money. You'll say that we're gonna be black.
But they just want to show it off. That's basically what it is. They just want to show it off.
My wife doesn't want to show it off.
That's
She
the
just
only
wanted
reason to get a big diamond ring.
Yeah,
to show it off to
show
your
to other
friends.
people.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I believe that people should not buy. If you're really in love with somebody, you shouldn't have to buy somebody a ring. Like, you get married.
I mean, in that situation, it sounds like maybe he should have like a real conversation with it. Does he not want to like let her know that he's about to propose or something, or?
But they got
Like, maybe that's something they need to communicate about.
they got good rocks at Jared or Zales. Just don't buy the clusters, because that definitely is a bullshit engagement ring. But you're gonna pay too much at Jared or Zales. Personally, that's an honest fact. But you can't find good rocks. But you're gonna pay too much. Mike, you up next. Next question.
I'm not.
Yeah, I don't have a good opinion on that.
Listen, if a guy says he wants to wait to have sex, do you think there's something he's hiding down there?
That's
more for you. That's more you question.
A guy said he wants to wait to have sex.
Do you think
I mean,
there's
is there
something
any more
he's...
background to the situation?
No, just that if a guy says...
You know how guys usually say they want to wait? When they say, I want to get to know you, I want to wait.
I don't think I've ever had anybody ever say that. So.
I agree with her.
I'm trying to think of a scenario where a guy said he wanted to wait.
You know what it is? I saw this YouTube comedy special with the Asian chick. She was pregnant. And she said if a guy makes you wait to have sex, it's because he probably has a small penis. And I gotta agree, because most of the time guys want to have sex immediately.
Yes.
And maybe it doesn't happen, though, but if they mention
if it's like for spiritual reasons and it's something he feels strongly about, like maybe.
That's different. If he's a virgin, it's different.
Yeah.
Not even a virgin, but like if he's.
Like if he really wants to see, if he sees a future with you.
I mean,
maybe,
there's a value in like not like you don't have to just do it right away.
No, of
but
course.
if it's naturally progressing and he says, "Hey, you're moving too fast."
Right.
Yeah. You move too fast for me to pull out my small.
He probably
penis.
does have a small one.
No man is gonna like turn down.
No, hell no.
Man. Oh, I see a woman doing that, but a man no.
A man, no.
No. We
You can take what you can get.
quick.
You say plus a man will mention it, at least mention sex. But if you just like not mention it at all, this is a problem.
I mean, if the woman is like pushing for it and the man is like, slow down, like that. I don't know. I can't think of too many situations.
Small penis alert.
Now we have one last
But I
question.
mean, that's good for him. Maybe he just has great self-control.
Now,
Yeah, okay.
we have one last question. Have you ever been thinking about one person while you were having sex with another person?
Oh God.
No comment.
Oh man.
You know when people say no comment, it's usually a yes.
Yeah. Plead the fifth.
No comment.
No comment.
That was
Yes.
the last question, right?
Yeah, that was the last question. Yeah.
All right. Well, I've enjoyed chatting with you.
Well,
guys.
Julia, it was.
On that note.
Julia, it was a pleasure, and I really appreciate you coming to the show.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I know you're a busy woman and you have a lot going on.
Shout out to Jay-Z.
Shout out to.
Yes. Yes.
I'm sorry. Sorry
Yes,
to hurt
Julia,
anybody's
yes.
feelings. I just like to go against the flow.
You gotta
know
leave
what
us
I
on a
mean?
good note. You gotta leave us on a good note.
Sorry. Hey man, he's probably not listening anyway. You know what I'm saying? But
I need to get him a Jay Prince book.
Needs to get him a J Prince book.
Yeah.
But listen, again, I appreciate you coming to the show. You're very busy, and
Yeah, check out Amazon, Sweet Jones,
Yes.
Pimp C book, and The Art and Science of Respect.
when does it come out?
June 22nd.
June 22nd. June 22nd, The Art and Science of Respect.
Yes.
The J Prince memoirs. Please go pick it up. Julia Beverly in the house.
Julie, where can they find you? On the internet.
I'll never tell them.
Dun, dun, dun.
She doesn't want to be found.
Where can they find you? Julia Beverly. It's pretty easy.
Okay.
Twitter,
It's
Instagram.
Twitter, Instagram.
And all that, yes.
Nice. Well, Julia, you have a good night. And everybody listening,
night,
you guys have a good night. And thank you for listening to the show. And we'll see you guys next Friday. Enjoy.